Greetings, Earthlings! Welcome back to 7th Street, and welcome to another DVD Blu-ray movie collection update. I guess I forgot VHS. I do get VHS tapes from time to time. It's just been quite a while since I've been, buying movies regularly. Obviously, you know, with everything that's going on and the economy and shit, you know, you kind of don't feel super comfortable, going around and ordering movies offline or trolling different stores. But slowly but surely I have been accumulating some new inventory to my collection. So I thought that we would just go over that really quickly. Yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. I was trying to think if I had something else to say here, but I don't. I really don't. Alright, first up on this list is the new, it's the 60th anniversary edition, the Blu-ray uncut theatrical release of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Now, Psycho is really interesting. I feel like I've bought at least 2 other editions of this movie, in the last 5 years. I think the first one that I got is actually still up here. I didn't want to get rid of it for a very long time, and it's the Universal Classic series. This kind of hard hard copy. It's not really a steel book, but it's kind of got that look to it. It's a really cool release. I really like the cover. I like that it's 2-disc between the special features and the actual movie. This is not a review for that release, I promise. That's 8 years old by now. You know, I didn't want to get rid of my other copies. I had a Blu-ray copy of Psycho, but I was in Walmart, of all places, and I saw this new release, and I could not get it, because this is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I love this movie. I watched the Psycho, the uncut, the theatrical release version, and didn't really notice any differences in it, to be honest. But the Blu-ray transfer on this is fantastic. I mean, it's Universal, so of course, you know, all of their releases are usually pretty good. The only complaint I have about the release of this film, it does have a lot of the same special features that were on some of the older releases, that would come on the second disc of that release, and it would be there's a documentary on the film that's an older documentary, and it was just one thing, and on this it's kind of broken up into different segments. It's kind of weird. Even if you go to play all, it does this weird pause lag as it's switching tracks on the Blu-ray. Does kind of a weird thing like that, and the main menu on this is extremely underwhelming. I know that that's kind of a weird complaint, but for you know, such a big company and such a wide release, you would think that they would do a little bit better than what they did for the main menu on this. It's very amateurish looking. But all in all, this is a great release. I do like this slipcover that it comes in. You know, I don't like it quite as much as the old special edition one, but I think it looks pretty. It kind of takes cues from the original poster artwork, which I actually have here in my movie room. Yeah, all in all, I think this one is well worth getting. I think that it also, yeah, it comes with a digital code, a download. I don't personally do that myself, but you know, sometimes that's sort of a selling point for some people out there. So yeah, all in all, I would definitely give this one at least an 8 out of 10. Man, it's a good release. All right, next up on this list is one that I've seen basically everybody getting online. Everyone's made a post about this one, and this is the new Vestron release, slipcover Vestron release, and this is David Cronenberg's Shivers, which is not his first film, but his first really known film. You know, the master of body horror, David Cronenberg. I really like this one in the simple fact that, I used to not really when I was younger. I didn't really get it. I didn't really get some of the like social commentary to it. And kind of like the allegorical stuff for like STDs and things like that. And there's sort of this like weird, I don't know if anyone else gets this feeling when they watch this movie, but when it kind of like, spoiler alert, when it kind of comes down to the end and it's like, you know, the last human who isn't infected by this kind of like mind-altering STD-like parasite, and like the infected people kind of converge on him, and you know, like everything about this movie is very sexual. There's like a lot of like kind of like, it's really one you got to see for yourself, because I'm trying to frame it in a way where I'm not spoiling too much. But there's like a kind of like weird feeling that this movie gives off, where it's like you almost kind of think like, oh, that wouldn't be so bad if it happened to everyone. You know, everyone just kind of like lives in this weird like zombie-like orgy, sex orgy mentality for the rest of your life. You kind of like lose all of your personal ambitions, and it's kind of got like this weird communist free love commune kind of vibe to it, where it's like both terrifying but also at the same time maybe sort of beautiful, or maybe like humans are better off. Anyway, I'm rambling about this one because it's that kind of movie. I definitely recommend picking this up, not just because this is a fantastic film and maybe my favorite, probably second favorite David Cronenberg film, but these Vestron releases are so cool, dude. I love all of them. Honestly, they're like some of my favorite Blu-rays that I have in my collection. They're not like super expensive or rare. I just think that, you know, this is really cool. I know that it's not like this necessarily the same Vestron as like the VHS Vestron releases, but I just think that it's so cool that they re-released these with like an old like VHS company, distribution company. Everything about these are so cool. The slip covers are cool. The movies they pick are cool. They're well worth being on Blu-ray. They're super worth the money. This is like $12 at Walmart right now. I definitely recommend picking it up. Like a 10 out of 10 for me, dude. They also released Little Monsters, which I'm not as interested in. If I'm being honest, I think now there are officially 19 of these Vestron releases. I think I maybe have like half of them. Definitely need to pick the others up. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about Shivers. Just go get it. It's like the best Blu-ray of this bunch that I got. Next up on this list is one that I got quite a while ago. I was just kind of waiting to get more than just like 2 Blu-rays to do a video, and that's the Hammer classic, The Mummy's Shroud. This was the last one that I had not seen actually in the like Hammer, like the big Hammer series, you know, with like Dracula and Frankenstein, The Mummy. This was the last one I had actually not seen, oddly enough. I had, you know, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb is probably my favorite of the Hammer Mummy movies. Obviously, The Mummy remake by Hammer is really good as well. The Mummy Shroud is not bad. It's definitely, of all 4 of the Hammer Mummy movies, it's probably the weakest in my opinion. It has good moments. There are like really good scenes in this movie. I think the ending, like the climax, like the big showdown with the mummy, like there's like a big like kind of like axe battle with the mummy, and it's really pretty cool. There's quite a bit about it that I like. If I'm remembering correctly, I mean, this has, you know, been like 3 weeks or so since I officially watched this, but it was kind of long, it felt like. 90 minutes. So I guess it's just one of those movies that feels like it drags in certain parts. Hammer films can be that way. Maybe even like British horror movies from the 70s can be like that in general. This one maybe more so. Not saying that it's bad in any way, shape, or form. I really enjoyed this one. Now that I'm like talking about it and trying to just off the cuff remember it, I almost feel like it's probably worth another viewing from me. But all in all, cool release. These Scream Factory releases of the old Hammer films are really good. I really like the Frankenstein ones that they've been releasing. So yeah, all in all, it's a good one. And last but not least, you know, it's funny, it's been so long since I've done one of these, I honestly can't remember if I've talked about this one yet, so forgive me if I have, but it's the Arrow release of Alice, Sweet Alice, which is, once again, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I've done a reference this film on this. It's funny, all of my releases of Alice, Sweet Alice were super old. I had like the old Anchor Bay DVD, I have it on VHS. This is one that really needed an upgrade, and I'm so glad that that Arrow did, because they, you know, they just do phenomenal work with their Blu-ray releases. Like I said, I've talked about this one quite a bit. I actually get some hate comments on my reference this film episode, so, you know, if you haven't seen it, maybe now you're a little bit more intrigued to check it out. I mean, it's like a killer kid movie, kind of, not really. That's also got a lot of, like, religious themes that deals with Catholicism and, you know, issues within the church, especially at that time. There's a lot to say about this movie, so I recommend checking out the reference this film. But once again, this Blu-ray is awesome. It's got some great commentaries, some great interviews. The slipcover is awesome. Like you guys probably already know, I like to change out the inner cover to like the old classic poster. Jesus, get in there. I don't know what it is about Arrow Blu-rays, like slipcovers, like what type of material they use. And they do different types of materials for their other ones, like the Vampire Doll Bloodthirsty Trilogy slipcover. It's got like this weird texture to it. They're super cool. I don't know what they use, but I really like that. It feels very like nice and fancy, and it feels expensive, which I like when I pull it off the shelf. I like when my Blu-rays feel expensive. So this one, once again, I'd probably give this one like a 9 out of 10. I know that I didn't rate the Mummy's Shroud, and I'd probably give this one like an 8 out of 10 as well. Just like the Psycho one. I would probably say 8 out of 10. I think that it's really well done. But yeah, this one's like a solid 9. Love this movie, love this release. Everyone should have this on Blu-ray. The transfer looks gorgeous. That's all I have for you guys today. I promise I will have my top 5 favorite horror films from 1986 video coming out very shortly. Been a little bit busy lately working on some different projects, trying to make some money in the film industry. Make sure that you guys check out my Patreon page. I have a new patron, and I'm just now realizing that I forgot his name. But I will include his name in the credits. Please check out our other films on 7th Street Productions. You can find them like on my YouTube page. I have a lot of them there. I have links to them. Make sure that you go on Tubi and check out my latest feature horror comedy, Jesus, I Was Evil. You can watch it on Tubi for free. That's the cool thing about Tubi. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, and keep liking and subscribing, guys. Until next time.